The purpose of this commentary is to help show how I think when I'm playing through the game, and how, well, hopefully I can say out loud the kinds of things that are going through my head when I either notice something in the game or I think something in particular about a certain situation that I may or may not act on. I should start off by saying that the first part, your first path as playing as the monster is either the most important part of the game or the second most important part of the game. However, it is the most important part of the game that is very easily made near optimal just by thinking about the beginning of each map. And of course, I'm talking about from the monster's perspective. Each map I've played enough to the point where I have a pretty good idea of my pathing at the very beginning of the match, and what I'm supposed to do and what I should be looking out for. So I will try to see how well I can commentate this match, even though this one is particularly long. So let's go right into it. So with this game, it starts off on rendering plant, as you hopefully already figured out, I have used my jump ability, one of my jump abilities first, followed by both of my movement abilities that I put a point into at the beginning of the match, to put all three of those different abilities on cooldown as fast as I can, so that they can already start cooling down. What you want to be doing is maximizing the amount of movement you can possibly get out of your abilities that the monster has given you. And the start of this match, the path that I take takes me past one set of the long leg creatures, and into where a lot of the mammoth birds are, which is this one that I kill right here and start eating. And the mammoth birds have the cooldown reduction, which is very important not only early game, but helps quite a bit late game as well. Having 50% cooldown on abilities is incredibly important. And right there, I decide that I'm not quite far enough away, and I've already angered the tyrant, or the beast, in that area, and he was coming after me. So I decided to just keep running. I get a little fortunate in dodging that shield, or a dome. And I continue running away from the hunters as fast as I can, attempting to use all of the abilities that I have to maximize my potential time over distance. And at this point, I've exhausted all of my movement abilities, and I feel like I've made it across the map fast enough that I feel very safe in evolving right here behind the wall. I put another point into the 3 skills that I started with, because it just helps utility all around. And I'm not, again, still not necessarily trying to take an engagement on stage 2, even if I have full shields. It's not optimal. I will fight stage 2 with full shields, depending on the hunter team that I'm playing against. here I notice that they're kind of spread out, so I'm trying to first figure out where the trapper is, and then to move accordingly. They were a little spread out, so moving to the opposite end of the map as fast as possible and then maybe getting food is a little bit more of an issue. Still, you want to be moving as fast as you can and eating as fast as you can pretty much throughout the entire match. Now, this overall strategy that I've implemented is really only good for Goliath, and I know is going to be much different for Kraken. Right there I kind of got stuck on the harpoon, and I was thinking that for some reason I could move a little bit closer to the food and start eating, but it just wasn't letting me, so ended up wasting a little bit of time. I tried to stand there for about a second, see if I could pick up the buff, which is a little bit greedy, but you'd be surprised how many times the monster can pick up a buff right in front of a hunter team. If you're playing in public matches, I'd say it's worth going for. If you know the hunter team you're playing against is really good, then I think you should adjust some of your tactical decisions at least a little bit. I know I do. I'm pretty sure I didn't have much information on how well this hunter team plays, so as this game progresses I'm getting a little bit better at figuring out how the team is handling themselves. And see, that's pretty much what I was talking about. I was able to take that Tyrant perk, even though it's pretty bad, but I was able to pick it up right in front of the medic. And right before the game even starts, you want to know, especially the medic, what class the medic is. I did a very poor job in my public matches during the beta in terms of remembering, or not even remembering, figuring out the hunter team that I was playing against, so I kind of had to play it by ear. I was a little bit more, well, so here I noticed that one hunter was kind of on his own, and with another glance at my shields, with one hunter down and having this many shields, and now with lots of damage that I can potentially get in and probably down Lazarus, I decided this is a really good engagement. But I downed that first hunter, and he gets revived, and then I take down Lazarus, which is really important, and I make sure that he dies, which is what you're seeing right there. Once you have medic down, the team is not anywhere near as efficient, the hunter team. So right now there's not really much for me to say unless, well, in terms of how I'm thinking in this fight. Obviously right here I want to avoid running into the mines, and I feel like I can win right now. And if I can't win, I can definitely deal a lot of damage. I'm trying to use the flame breath to pick up the cloaked support. They have a nice position up there against me, and Markov's lightning gun is very, very good. I run into another mine, start noticing my health dropping, so at this point I'm trying to figure out if it's worth continuing to fight. I obviously decide that it is, especially after I picked up a little bit of shields there. And at this point, I'm starting to question my fighting decision. if you notice at the top left, it shows the dropship timer. If I get it down right now, and I'm able to go after one or the last two hunters, like this down right here, you're going to want to keep him alive for a little bit longer. I don't know what the cutoff time is, but you obviously don't want him to die before the dropship drops new hunters, because then he comes in immediately. Whereas this way, assuming that hunter that's down behind me dies, then he'll be part of the next wave, and I can already start timing my future fights with that second or the next evacuation or dropship timer. That's another thing that I think is important to keep your... Yeah. So Lazarus came down. He revived him. I'm still really trying to win there, but I've lost so much health. And this is why the game ended up being so close, because of these decisions. I keep fighting and running half-heartedly, and that indecision is, or was, really bad in terms of my effectiveness. And so now I'm full into runaway mode and trying to get some shields up and then evolve. I'm not sure if I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna try to evolve here. Okay. I'm at such low health that if I get caught even for a little bit, it's really difficult. Because there's like a 95% chance that I'd get domed, and then at that point the game would pretty much be over. So I waited for them to get a little bit closer to me, and then I used my abilities as effectively as I can do. That rock did not help me at all, but I'm trying to get away to the other side as fast as I can. Killing random wildlife as you move is generally a good idea, because there are times when I double back or circle around to the back of the map and then run into them again and they're already down, so I can just start eating. I deem that this area is acceptable with what I feel like the amount of distances between the monsters are. It's a little shorter than what I would have wanted, and I'm not sure if that was a good idea in hindsight. But I'm pretty much staying behind cover as much as I can because I don't have any shields, and only attacking out when I feel like they're about to start dealing damage to me. So right there, I'm just trying to keep tabs on that hunter that's at the bottom. Because I don't plan on going up top. And if he throws down mines or something, it's not very good. So I want to be using my flame breath to take them out. So I'm surviving as long as I possibly can, trying to deal or get dealt as little damage as possible, and that Markov down was pretty helpful. So I'm using an ability, another ability, and then my third jump just came up. Unfortunately, I took 2 mammoth bird attacks right there, which is pretty huge, but there's not that much I could have done. I see that they haven't taken down that perk, which is traversal. For them, I believe it's jetpack recharge. I could be wrong, but I'm back over in this farmy area where a bunch of wildlife usually spawns. Now I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. Are they back over at the power relay throwing down mines and emplacements and such? Is Markov right there? Is he completely alone? Can I take him on right now? Perhaps even if I can, it wouldn't be a very good idea, because by the time I get close to downing him, I mean, I'm starting off with half shields. They can get over to me, and there's a good chance that they could trap me, and that's pretty huge. The next engagement I want to be on, I want to happen, I want to have on my terms. And so back there, I figured out that they were still running after me a bit, and they weren't camping the power relay. So generally, that's a pretty good thing for me. The more time they have, especially a public match team, the more time they have around the power relay, the more things that they can, emplacements they can put down, positions they can get. And for some reason, they decided that up there at the top was a good place to camp, I guess. Daisy fell down and is going to get caught out and killed, so that's pretty nice. I'm already at like half shields, so I'm gonna... I should be running away. Yeah. So I was in that mode where I'm like watching the trapper and listening for the trapper, trying to get some damage off, and not let them hurt my shields. That again, that's huge. It's so annoying. You're down to like no shields, and then especially here when I have almost no health left, I get hit by wildlife. But again, I'm back in that mode where I'm trying to figure out, are they coming after me? If they are, then I can swing back over to the side and try to outrun them and get some food. It seems like they're either staying where they were before, or they're now camping the relay. I don't know what they're doing, but I feel like I can take this. But yeah, they weren't too far away, so they were able to get me off. And now they can take that buff. It's not a huge deal. I should be getting enough food, and then going over the power relay, and if they're not there, then... Man, those tyrants are so annoying. The problem is, even if I take them now, they could come over fast enough. I dodged his attack a little bit, and I could get a double attack on him. And the hunters aren't close enough to get me off the food. But yeah, it seems like they're camping the relay from this position. So I'm going to try to get my shields back before I engage. There's actually all abilities on this map are theoretically gone at this point. So there really aren't any abilities that I can go after. So the name of the game right now is to get my shields up as fast as possible, and it just feels like so many things are not helping. But get my shields up as fast as possible, and then make it to the relay as fast as possible, so it gives them the least amount of time for preparation. So I'm slowly moving in on the relay, and I'm trying to figure out where they are. If I'm going to have any chance at winning this, I'm going to need to attack and kill Lazarus as fast as possible. So it looks like they have some emplacements down, and I guess I was wrong about the abilities. It looks like there was one ability there left. But I'm attacking Lazarus, and I'm trying to kill him as or down him at the very least, but yeah, kill him as fast as possible. I've taken him down and felt like I could spend that much time not attacking Laz. But he's cloaked and he got revived, and now he's booking it. Now I should be able to get him one more time and kill him outright. I keep running into a lot of mines. There's not that much I could do about it. If I didn't run into the mine, it would have taken a long time. They're at a critical amount of hunters left. Once they're down to like 2, there's not much. They're not very effective anymore, and so just attacking one throws them into a kind of a stun lock, and so they can't attack. They can't deal that much damage. So I ended up getting. I would definitely say I got a little bit lucky here, but yeah, I hope this commentary was helpful. And if you want to hear more commentary from me, then you can just post down in the YouTube comment section, and I'll definitely look at it. Commentary is not something that I do very often, so yeah. Thank you for watching.